Hello, 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 hello. Welcome, guys. Welcome back to my page. I'm Chosen1444 Healer, and I'm back today, guys, with a quick message. So today I'm gonna do a collective reading. All signs are welcome. Okay, I'm gonna do a money reading, career reading. Okay, see what's been going on people's career for this time. My people that's been wondering if you fit this time, it could be for you. If not, it could be for somebody around you. This could be a feeling you had in the past. It could be a current feeling you have now, or current feelings may be coming up in the future, okay? So today I want to do a career reading, okay? To see what's going on with people's finances. That's what I'm getting called to do. To see what people should be doing or what's been happening maybe in the workplace, okay? What's been going on with your finances, okay? Collect this. So hope everybody's having a good day, staying warm and stuff like that. Let's see what's going on. Holy Ancestors, Spirit Team, Spirit Guides, being the light. Let's see what's going on in this collective energy reading when it comes to the career, okay? So let's see. So yeah, some people are definitely basically trying to diversify your income. So maybe a lot of you are basically right now currently trying to have different incomes coming in or something like that. Basically, or maybe trying to change something up in your life right now, collective. So maybe you're going through some type of changes. Maybe you're trying to change your job or something like that, or your location and stuff like that. So that's what I'm getting. You're trying to explore new investments. Maybe like trying to rent out properties and stuff like that, or maybe like, start joining stocks and trade and stuff like that. And just create multiple streams of income, maybe starting your own side business, because you're trying to have some type of financial stability, okay? So that's what I'm getting so far, collective. So many of you probably are in the energy are basically just trying to have a lot of income diversion, just multiple streams of income, okay? So yeah, a lot of you probably want some type of personal growth. So maybe you like learn some lesson where you probably was spending so much money, but now like money like don't grow on trees. So now you like basically like learning something like how to manage your money better. Okay, that's what I'm getting. Okay, yeah. So you guys been just focused on your career, your work, whatever, and basically you also been available to receive some type of feedback from people. So maybe you're now starting to listen to people like when it comes to money advice and stuff like that. You also been embracing some challenges. So if you've been going through some ups and downs when it comes to money, like you also now realizing like nobody really has it easy in this world, especially when it comes to this economy right now. You're basically realizing like, okay, I have to go through these phases. Like it's not gonna probably come like overnight. Okay, that's what I'm getting. Okay, so basically you just basically been trying to pursue opportunities that align with you now. Like basically like, so maybe you started somewhere, like you started to understand like that maybe that was a stepping stone in your life. Okay, but now what you're thinking about is long-term goals. Okay, so that's what I'm getting. A lot of you guys have went through some type of professional growth when it comes to like finances and stuff like that. Okay, so that's good though, collect. I like that type of energy. Okay, so yeah, you guys are definitely, like I said, in long-term planning. You guys are thinking about the future right now. Okay, you're thinking about, okay, what could give me what I need for a long time, right? You're probably thinking about groceries, like, okay, how groceries go up, right? Maybe how rent or mortgage and stuff like that, like, things could change in the future. So you're thinking about the possibilities, like, so you're probably taking on roles or positions, or, like I said in the beginning, like, having multiple incomes for those shortcomings, like, maybe you had to pay some certain bills, or maybe, like, things like if something happened, like, with the roof, like, roof leaks or stuff like that, things like that. You basically having money for a rainy day now, okay? That's what I'm getting. So you have to be planning for the long term. You also been, a lot of you might think about retirement. So a lot of you probably been in a position for a long time, and now you're probably thinking about, all right, you probably got like 10 more years ago, 5 more years ago. So now you're just thinking about it, right? You're thinking about a roadmap for your desired future. Like you maybe even be thinking about moving somewhere that would better suit, like if you do retire, okay? So now you probably thinking about moving somewhere to retire in, okay? Or like celebrate your retirement in, okay? So that's what I'm getting. So you basically having some goals coming in, like you've been planning a lot. A lot of you guys just been planning, being in a good mood. You say you're so happy, like he's like, yes, I finally got it, right? So a lot of you probably feel like it's finally clicking for you guys, okay? So you've been like having some clear income goals, whatever, like, and you just thinking about you probably been planning out how much you need for this and this, and like, made a lap out, whatever, and then you just happy about it. So that's good. That's a good energy to be in. You finally getting it, collective, okay? So this is for the people that finally starting to understand how to deal with money and now understand like you shouldn't be overly spending over once, and probably just not focus on needs. And you also trying to have positions, or like I said, multiple income streams for your wants, right? Because you don't want to just be paying bills and dying, right? So you also been like placing some financial boundaries, like I just said, right? So you've been weighing your options over between needs and wants, okay? And I know it can get hard, especially like during the season, like when it's like Black Friday season, and now it's Christmas coming up. It's going to be kind of hard, though, but you've been learning to place some type of financial boundaries, okay? And you also been communicating with friends and family, so maybe you're the person that probably been helping a lot of people a lot, and now you realizing, like, in this economy, you can't even do that too much no more, right? You realize, like, you can't help nobody if you can't help yourself, right? Because guess what? You got to prioritize yourself. Who won't be there if you need help, right? So a lot of you guys just been prioritizing your boundaries when it comes to, like, helping family members out or friends that probably always ask you, like, can you loan them something, like, even though they're not giving it back to you, but you've been that person people probably came to a lot. So I feel like now you probably understanding like you gotta put some type of boundaries down, okay? So that's good though. That's a good energy to be in, okay? And this one to come out. Yeah, so a lot of you also are feeling happy about where you are right now. So a lot of you are like not are moving and changing jobs and stuff. Some of you are just happy where you at right now. You finally came to the conclusion like you just becoming grateful for that you even have a job, okay? So a lot of you just been happy about it, right? But, you know, and you've been identifying things that work to keep you there and stuff like that, you know, and you basically like, you feel like you could stay in where you at as long as you like speak up for yourself, right? Like as long as you like speak to the supervisor maybe or upper management about what you need, and you feel like if they can satisfy you, you'll be good there, okay? So a lot of you probably just came to the conclusion like, all right, even if it's hard to like get out of this economy, or maybe like I said, like some of you actually do enjoy your job, but it's probably little perks and things that you just needed to be adjusted. And when you speak up, you feel like you're gonna get it, right? So this wants to come out too, like so. You probably are going to like transitioning. So even if you are staying in a company, you probably just want to just move up. You want to just basically have room for growth. That's what I'm getting. So a lot of you basically just want to have room for growth, and then that's all you need. Some people do want to just get out and have a new transition, but a lot of you are just willing to like just climb up a ladder into a position you currently are in. Okay, so that's what I'm getting. You basically just wanted to climb up. A lot of you goals just wanted. Some of you, like I said, y'all don't mind staying there, but as long as you got room for opportunity and growth, right? After a certain amount of time, you put the work in. You're like, all right, I need to move up in this company. Okay, so like I said, some of you are just also having to have multiple incomes, like current side hustles and stuff like that. So like I said, you probably be just like you got your current 9 to 5, but you also got things going on the side to help you also add to your money. Okay, so that's what you guys been doing. And some of you, if you guys are not doing it, some of you are being advised to get a side hustle if you have been struggling. Okay, if you've been struggling or something like that, like try to find like a skill or hobby that you can do really well, and that can help you. Okay, you don't want to be side hustling and draining your body, and then it's like because you're not really fit for that, but you just need money, so you're killing yourself. No. What the answers are saying is find something that you can do yourself, like a skill that you could do, and then create that as a side hustle, right? So you basically finally figuring that out. So you got some type of financial clarity currently, let's collective. Okay, so you guys are finally understanding what you have to do, which is good, okay? So you've been reviewing it, right? You creating budgets, you know, and you've been tracking your expenses and stuff like that. So you basically understanding now what you got to do, okay? So that's what I'm getting so far with the career meeting today. Like a lot of you are just basically have some type of financial security, you know, some type of financial clarity as well. And you learning how to budget your money better. And now you might went through some type of time where you had no choice but to wake up to that, right? Because maybe things started to pile up on random expenses, and you started to realize like, dang, like I can't keep moving like that, okay? So yeah, you basically been pushing a lot, carrying, like I said, carrying a lot by yourself, you know, pushing all this weight by yourself, probably had no help and stuff like that. So you probably could be like in a single household, you know, and maybe it's just you and you don't really have no partner. So you have been carry things by yourself, so you finally realize that, okay? Yeah, so basically, it's like you realize that you can't no longer point the finger at nobody else, right? Because it all comes back to you. So a lot of you have been realizing that, yeah, you can't keep pointing the finger at people. It's really just you. You're the one that got to make these choices, right? These better decisions when it comes to money management and, like, you know, when it comes to work and stuff like that, okay? So, yeah. And maybe you probably was put in a position, too, like, where you have to, like, choose what you want to pay for, right? You probably was like, oh, my gosh. You were like, do I have to pay rent, or do I have to pay... do I pay for my car bill, or do I have to pay you was basically caught up in a situation where you had to choose out of one day when something could have happened to you, which one you're going to pay, okay? And that's what kind of caused this wake-up call when you had that ultimatum when you had to figure out which one you're going to be paying, which one is more necessary, or which one you may have to let go. So that's what I'm getting so far this collector. You went through something where you had to choose between which bill you wanted to pay, right? And like that was all you had, okay? So basically you had to try to find an escape, whatever. So you probably was this feeling like you was just losing control, right? You say you falling through that window or whatever. Like he's like, or some of you probably felt like some of you guys, I'm sorry, you guys feel like that. Some of you guys probably felt like y'all wanted to leave this world maybe because y'all felt like y'all could not figure your way out. So a lot of you guys probably been feeling like y'all just needed to escape, okay? Y'all probably felt like y'all had no way out, okay? Which is sad, okay? So I'm happy that you finally got some type of clarity, because some of you probably was at the edge of just ending it all for yourself, or just probably leaving or disappearing this, trying to leave this earth, okay? So yeah, you was getting caught up in tension, like you was just feeling like so caught up, and you probably was like having like a lot of migraines and stuff like that. You probably felt like you didn't want to speak to nobody, okay? You didn't know what to do. A lot of you guys just caught up, right? And you guys probably didn't even know how to voice your opinion or know how to speak or probably ask for help. That's what I'm getting. So you said she choking his throat, like he couldn't even speak. This person didn't know how to speak. So this person you probably felt like you couldn't even know how to ask for help. You probably was a person that didn't even know how to ask for help. So you basically had a lot of tension on you just because you didn't know how to reach out for help, okay? Like then also, what I'm getting is that you have to also balance yourself out when it came to self-discipline, okay? So you have to choose, like I said, choose between wants and needs, okay? You probably wanted to you probably spend a lot of money on like going out to hang out, have a lot of drinks and stuff, maybe with friends, but that probably came up to you like, listen, you overly spending outside hanging out in these places, right? And then also maybe like the gym membership, you probably was paying for that too at the same time. So it's like you had a lot of things going on. It's like you was in a battle and a war between getting yourself together, being more healthy, and also that partying life, okay? Or that hanging out life, okay? So a lot of you probably was conflicted between becoming more healthy to save some money, because maybe like if you become healthy, you would spend less in the spots, like less in the lounges, less in the brunches, less in the event locations if you was to get more healthy, okay? So a lot of you went through that. And a lot of you also probably just been feeling stressed though at work though. So a lot of you probably also, like for the people that wanted to change jobs, you probably just felt overly worked, okay? Like they kept asking you to do everything. Like it's like one person. You one person at the job, and then everybody coming to you to do all the work, right? You probably had people around you that wasn't even getting as much work as you, so you kind of felt overwhelmed, okay? That's sad though, because I hate when jobs do that, right? Y'all have all these people here, we all get paid the same thing, but you always picking on me to do the most work, right? Which isn't fair. So a lot of you guys just felt like things was just unfair in your life, okay? It was just too much, and you feel like you had to kind of slow down, okay? So that's probably what happened to you too. So basically, like you also felt like time was just ticking, or you probably was just spending so much time there, like you had no time for your life. You had no time for your like home, maybe like if you a parent, or if you at a certain age, you probably had no time for your family, no time for your health, no time for rest. You only feel like you was just going to work, coming back home, like within the little hours you have left, having 1 hour to probably watch TV or with your family, and then having to go back to sleep to wake up and do it over again, okay? So you guys feel like time was just being relentless for you. You feel like you had no type of time, okay? So that's what I'm getting. This collective, y'all guys went through a lot of stuff, okay? Y'all went through a lot of experiences which caused y'all to get to this point, but what I'm seeing right now, a lot of you guys are coming out of this, okay? Yeah, so a lot of you guys are coming into some type of wealth, okay? So now you get energy of just saving. You said this money is all in the chest. A lot of you probably just been saving. Some of you probably got like a bank or something, like a piggy bank, or some of you probably got like one of them, you know, them water cases, and people put coins in it. A lot of you guys probably have some type of coins saved up, or you've been trying to save in that way, even if it's not dollars. You probably trying to save quarters and stuff like that. So I'm good. A lot of you guys have been trying to save, or maybe like that box under the bed, like old school, like with money in it, right? A lot of you guys with an energy trying to save your money, okay? So that's what I'm getting so far, collective, okay? Yeah, so basically you probably also been trying to find a partner or something like that. So a lot of you probably are been trying to like you know, or you been in a relationship where you trying to help, hopefully hoping that this person can help you, like I said. But what I'm getting is that this collective energy, you really didn't have that help, okay? This collective didn't have that help, but you was hoping to find somebody over time, maybe to help you with these finances, right? Because nowadays it's not easy to even be living alone, especially like out here in New York. I don't know where you guys from, but it's not easy to live alone these days, right? So a lot of you guys are currently looking for a companionship to build with for the future, right? Because y'all realize that like you alone is not cutting it. It's not cutting it with these current expenses in this society, right? Okay? So that's what I'm getting right now, collective, okay? Yeah, so a lot of you, like I said, was feeling abandoned. Like nobody was there to help you guys, right? So you guys probably went through a lot of heartache and stuff like that, because you couldn't talk to nobody about this. You couldn't really reach out for nobody, because guess what? Also, you probably had people around you going through the same thing. So how can you reach out to people when they going through the same thing, right? So a lot of you guys probably came to that conclusion, but it's like it also made you realize that you really have nobody, right? So that's what I'm getting. This collective finally, like, you know, came to the conclusion that you really have nobody, so you have to really get up and do the work yourself, okay? So I'm getting that. A lot of you probably are going to just come into some type of sudden wealth. Just because you having this type of clarity now, you having some type of boundaries, like you can't help everybody, you also learn how to save, also have multiple income. You have to have some type of sudden wealth. That's what I'm getting, okay? So a lot of you guys are going to run into some sudden wealth. All the hardship you went through, what I'm getting is that being that you learned the lesson and you starting to put the work in now and prioritize and like, needs over wants, you're gonna get this sudden. You're gonna run into some type of sudden wealth, or even like if you change your position, that's what you're gonna get. Okay, so be careful though. Make sure you guys take care of like your expenses, like your maintenance, like your car, maybe, because a lot of you guys might have some type of car fees. So be careful, right? Maybe you need that oil change or your tire change. Be careful, because those things might pop up in this upcoming future, or probably already happened, and that probably also caused you to realize you need money for a rainy day, right? Your car probably shut down, something like that, or anything, tickets, toll, you needed to pay that. And something could have caused you to also wake up, have a realization, okay? So that's what I'm getting. But also, like I said, saving money for a rainy day, okay, collective? Yeah, so be careful though, because basically you probably had a lot of people that was probably also exploiting you and stuff like that. People probably was dealing with, like I said, these people that you was probably hanging around with outside a lot with, they was just usually for your money, okay? They was usually to probably spend and buy everything for people, because you probably is this person that probably just work a lot of overtime and work that overload. But when every time you came outside, they already knew that you was gonna be the person that's gonna be like, you know, drinks on me, like shots on me. So you have to wake up out of that, right? And you have to realize that, you know what, money cannot, you got to stop allowing money to overweigh you and overcome you, right? You can't let money control you, right? Because by doing that, you end up losing yourself and money start taking over. And then guess what? You allowing money to run the show, money gonna do what it want to do, right? You start to realize that, like, if I let my money run free, like going to the spot, and shots on me, you allowing the money to control your life. Because guess what happens? Shots on me. After that, what about you when you get back home, right? So a lot of you probably came to that type of conclusion, like, y'all have to stop thinking that if you got all the money in the world, allowing money to run you, okay? Because, yeah, people probably also, you probably felt like people were going to talk about you if you probably didn't do it. So you probably was also afraid, like, if you didn't show out, that people were going to say that you ain't had no money or something like that. So a lot of you probably went through that phase, too, where y'all felt like you had to buy things or show out or even buy certain materials just so people don't think that you don't have no money. But it's just saying, come out of that, because that's like, what is the gospel going to do? Who you pleasing, right? Because guess what? At the end of the day, they're not going to be there when you need that help. What's going to cause you to get in that abandonment stage. So you have to learn some type of lesson, right? That's what I'm getting at. A lot of you have to learn some type of lesson from worrying about what people got to say about you, okay? That's what I'm getting so far with this career reading. But like I said, what I'm getting so far, you are currently having some type of financial clarity. And a lot of you probably was also going to the casino, gambling a lot, 777, feeling lucky. And maybe you probably did hit the slot machine one time, but then guess what? You went right back after that, spent all that money back up. Okay? Or y'all probably playing, what's that? FanDuel, whatever that thing called. Now you probably start putting money in that. So you guys have to control yourself, okay? So it's nobody saying nobody can go out and have fun and gamble a little bit once in a while, but don't think that all your life, okay? A lot of you guys probably been seeing 777 synchronicities, also 999 maybe on a license plate and stuff like that, okay? So you probably also thought that you had some type of secret weapon. You thought you had some type of source maybe. So when you going out to the casino, you probably thought you had some type of luck going on. So you wasn't an energy at one point in time feeling very lucky, okay? You thought you had some type of source, but guess what? All that stuff caused you to go backwards, right? That's what I'm getting. Once you was doing that, you probably realized that now when you look back at it, you can't get none of that money back, right? Because you thought you had some special source. This collector, you went through some type of phase, which is okay, because it's like that's the purpose of life, right? To have some type of fun. But once you wake out of that, you start getting to a certain point of like, your priorities got to be fixed, okay? Yeah, so now you probably, like I said, you looking for a commitment right now. You hoping somebody come along and help balance you out. Maybe you didn't need somebody in your corner to tell you, like, chill out, not today, right? No spending, you already did that. So maybe a lot of you are looking for some type of commitment to, like, teach you, like, or be in your ear to say no, right? Because sometimes we don't have nobody in our ear. We gonna keep going. Some people will keep going when they don't have nobody in their ear, okay? So that's something so far collected. A lot of you guys that went through a lot of things are just trying to learn yourself and overly spending. But like I said, what I'm getting is that you are coming out of it. You have some type of financial clarity. And some of you are, even if you do want to continue to have the life, you guys are now realizing that y'all do have to have some type of multiple income coming in, okay? You have to have multiple income to live that type of life y'all want, okay? So that's what I'm getting, okay? Yeah, so you're being asked to take a step back, okay? And this thing about everything that that you've been going through and see things clearly for what it is, okay? So you got to step back in your life in order to gain perspective. When you are too close to a situation, it can be hard to make a decision. Span out and view your life from a distance so it can get the perspective you need. So you guys are asked to take a step back and review your life, okay? So you can get some type of clarity, because maybe you guys really didn't notice that that's what you was doing, right? You probably was going down the street like energy, like just overly spending, overly giving, overly buying material things, and then now you fell into a pit, but now you coming out of that, okay? And you have to realize, and you also have to gain some type of self-love. So maybe you guys just always trying to please people, like I said, make everybody else happy. You know, like shots on me, or like I got it, or oh, you at the restaurant table, everybody acting like they don't know what they paid for. You like, all right, I cover the bill. You got to stop that, right? You got to have some type of self-love, because people going to realize that people will overly abuse that, okay? Some people will see that energy in you and keep taking advantage. Every time you go out, guess what? You're going to be the only one. You're going to always be the one that's going to pay that bill, okay? So that's what I'm getting collective, okay? And you got some, so the answers are saying you got boundless possibilities, okay? So don't think that even though you went through all this stuff, there's always ways to get money out here, right? There's always ways to make a living for yourself, okay? So don't think that just because you like lost some type of money or went down some type of path that you can't get it back. But you have to understand, you may have to step outside your comfort zone, find some skills, and make that money, right? Or make some side hustles, or find some type of entrepreneur skills, like something, okay? Because you have boundless opportunities. So if you was feeling, if you've been currently feeling like you don't have no type of way out, it's because you're limiting yourself, okay? And you gotta also forgive yourself, okay? So a lot of you probably was just like so mad about yourself, like can't believe that you even did that. But answers is saying like you have to seek some forgiveness, forgive yourself for doing this, okay? Because at the end of the day, we all human, okay? Don't think that a lot of people don't go what you go through. A lot of people go through the same thing, and you just don't know about it. And they make it look good, okay? And just also try to be present during the moment, okay? So now that you're being asked for, just be present in the moment, right? Understand what's happening. You can't take back the past, right? Can't change the past. Only thing you can do is focus on the future, okay? That's the essence of saying, okay? Start focusing on what's happening now for you. There's nothing you can do about the past, but just move forward and make better decisions, okay? That's what I'm getting collected so far, okay? So that's what I'm getting so far with this career reading. But like I said, at the end of the day, what I'm getting is that you finally come to some financial clarity. And good. I'm ending like this. Be in your courageous heart. Be strong and be courageous, okay? So you can do this. So answers to say you got this, okay? This stand in your strength and stand in your power. Start telling people no, right? You know, follow your heart. You know, you never know when the path is unknown, right? Your heart knows the way. Trust it and let it lead your way to your true destiny, okay? So you know what you got to do going forward, Club. That's what I'm getting. You know exactly what you got to do. Like, you gotta stand your ground, be bold, right? Start limiting yourself. Don't, just because you're not paying for everybody that's at the table in the restaurant doesn't mean you're broke, okay? Doesn't mean you're not a good person. You're still a good person, okay? Let everybody else figure it out, right? Because guess what? All it's doing is putting you in a bind, right? Now you gotta find out how to get that money back after you pay for everybody at the table, okay? And maybe you gotta go back to work and have that overload of work. Maybe you gotta stay overtime all the time just because you're constantly spending money on for other people, okay? So just start being more courageous, right? Stand here, truth, and you're gonna get through this and find a way, okay? So that's what I got today for the collective reading. Keep up the good work. Like I said, get some money. There's money out here everywhere, okay? Just put your big pants on and make that decision, make that move, and make that action, okay? So if you like my quick reading, you can give me a like, a share, subscribe. I appreciate that. Help my page grow. If you have any questions, you can DM me. Till next time. Bye.